Hey, thanks for watching. So this is a video that is walking through what we implemented for our client measurement that this Tech Talk article is referring to, and so it's just a walkthrough of the specifics in this. So the basic idea is you can see a bunch of deprecated kind of sections down here. There are also deprecated singles that we have in here. This is our staging site, so we haven't disabled all these things. But ultimately what we did was we gave them a new pages structure here, and it has two different types of entries, or two different entry types. And our goal was we weren't designing anything new from the front end. If anything, the front end just wasn't going to change. No one could know the difference that the way that the pages had been built, the options for the authors had changed. And so what we gave them was this single pages section where we use entry types, which is kind of like my .all talk, I think from 2021, whereas it's called use entry types for the love of clients. And this is exactly why. So pull them out of singles, pull them out of these other kind of more templated sections, and just let them use the design components they have and give them some abilities. So what I like is we gave them a general entry type and a builder entry type. The general one is one where you don't have to think very much about the design decisions. So it's just a single row, or single column, I should say, of rows in some of the components that already existed for them. So we pulled them together. And what Michael did was notice that, okay, across all these different singles and other sections that we had, there were different hero types. We gave them the option to choose all the different heroes. So there's 5 different hero options. When they're building a page, now they can just pick the one that they want, use that one on that page. And then we also noticed that because some of the components had wide and narrower views, that we're just like, okay, let's just give them this overall setting to set the page width, kind of the center container for this center column. If it's going to be a default wide or a default narrow, and then certain components are able to override that. So in the settings, you can go and change it. All right, this specific one we want to be different from whatever the default was. And so some of them, if you want a narrow page but you want a certain image component or something to be wider, then you can do that. So to kind of walk through it a bit, our main objective really was to take these existing components, existing kind of blocks, bring them together. Some of them were hard coded. So for example, on this about page, some of these components, like the team card here, this had been like a hard coded component inside the about page. So then we had to build a matrix block for it so they can manage it, they can control it, they can put the people they want in it. But on the front end, it's no different. And so that's ultimately what we did. What's cool, so we added all these things and we organize the components here. So you can see there's images, image row, like these things just all existed before. We just put them together so they can then create pages however they want. We had to make sure that then things in their rows stacking kind of look good. So that was kind of the main objective. So this is a simple one. They don't have to worry about the design so much as the width, just think about the width, but that's super easy. And they can just run with these and build out these kind of general, for lack of a better name, but that's what we call them. We call them our general entry type. And then what's cool is you can get in and you can do a builder one. So I've got a few custom builder ones. Let's see, let's pick this one. And so inside of a builder, this one has a lot more design flexibility. So you kind of have to figure out as an author, all right, what does this page want to look like? This is where you start getting a row and columns. So ultimately then, as Michael says in the article, we used Neo here to give us our row and column options. What I really like about this is we give them a custom row option, and then there are some rows that are just they're somewhat templated components. They don't need to be fully customized. And so we have down here with some predefined rows. So we set, and these are just using components that already existed that we want to make available for them. So just like in that general entry type, we want to make some of these available to them. There's not a lot of styling or column, decisions that need to be made. They don't make sense, some of them inside of columns in a row. So they're here. But then the custom row one is this where they can use whatever they want, create whatever they want for these pages. So I know I'm scrolling fast here, but I'm going to do a live preview. Just kind of look at this page, for example, here. Just kind of show. And so ultimately we give it a label. So whenever you close things down, you can kind of see a little bit of like, okay, what is this thing? So if you can say, about, Tom, that's what this is. You can put that, what it is. You can open it up like, all right, this is the section I want to edit. But let me just go through here. So in this one, for columns, we've got 3 columns inside of this custom row. So inside of our custom row, we've got some options for the alignment of the things in here. So we've got a top alignment, no padding, top and bottom padding, background color is default, which is this kind of like green. So you can see the stuff is here. And then we've got the padding, or the column in here. So even the column itself has its own stuff in here, its own padding, its own thing. So you can set the row information, and you can set the column information, and then even in large text might have its own. So you can have an alignment here. So I think in this one, it's the quote block. All right. So if we come down to let's come down to the second column. Just close that up. So this is this one here. You can see that we've then centered. So we got the light green background. This has this other background. What am I looking for? I am looking for the fact that it's centered. Yeah, so we've got the centered text in here. So anyways, this is kind of just what we've done to kind of create this for them. Popped in all the different elements so they can see what it looks like. And then you all of a sudden have a 2-column section. You have a 4-column section, changing the background colors. You can create these grids. You have a full bleed image you could do, right? And then this is the predefined. So on these pages, they can just kind of go wild with what they want, how they want to style their pages. And this is ultimately what we did for measurement, and how we just approach building entry types in Craft for our clients, so that their marketing team can just create the pages they need. How they're thinking in that moment, between the options of going full design to not thinking about the design too much. And clearly at this point too, in Craft, like if you have a page you're like, hey, this page is a format we like, then you can just duplicate it, right? So you can go and save that entry as another one, essentially duplicating it. So you have your layout already built out, and then start editing your content as you need. All right, well, that's what we did. Thanks for reading. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.